of ethnics.
Oh, is he from
Is that like
Sweden?
the same as Hezbollah?
Hezbollah? No.
Who's Khamzat? It sounds like an Arabic word.
You know
Hamza.
Khamzat Chimaev, he's UFC fighter, bro.
Yeah.
That sounds like a
He's a good
tasty
fighter.
dip. Oh, bro, can you get some bread? I want to dip some Khamzat. Because khubz is bread.
So what we're talking about, what we're talking about is
We
actually
could
being a
never
little bit
cook
more
this.
controversy in our
No, you were
conversations.
talking about that. I was not.
What do you mean by controversy? You said something about controversy corner.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
sure.
because anything that you talk about that's anything to do with like war or anything to do with whatever, it's going to be controversial.
Do you know what? I
Sean
remember
wants to go viral.
Anything with
He's like,
anything
if
with
we
an
go-
opinion, you're going to go.
If we go viral, we can
controversial.
save the podcast.
there was one thing, but
No,
I remember.
JP did some work. We can save the podcast.
I remember in primary school. In primary school, they used to like. It was my favorite part of primary school. Now thinking about it, was like, I think when we got mature enough, they started doing like that. Okay, stand on the room if you're this position. Stand on the room if you're that position.
Oh, did you do
and
that?
then stand in the middle if you think. And we used
If you're a Swiss,
Oh, really?
Yeah, bro.
If you're
Oh.
Switzerland,
primary school, and then until like the early years of high school, I remember doing that as a class, and you had to voice like and
Yeah.
discuss.
yeah, they've done that quite often over the last couple of years, where they have disagree, agree, like, or they go, and they
do
did
you-
it during Black Lives Matter.
Do you feel like that we were like, I feel like people were a lot more oblivious to socio-political and like political issues, geopolitical, anything politically related. Or maybe it's just because we've gotten older, but I think social media has made...
Everyone's got an opinion.
Well, not anyone's opinion. Okay, the information is very easily digestible and accessible via social media, even though it might not be like the whole story or
Accurate.
whatever. And then we've got like people who are obviously doing a lot for virtue signaling, just to show, oh, look at me, look what I'm like.
Yeah.
I care about this issue.
Right.
I'm not saying
Happens all
I'm
the
not saying
time.
all of them do.
yeah, it's like all
but
the
I'm saying-
OnlyFans
but-
models that say free Palestine.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but it
yeah.
happens all the time. So what's
Not
the
that their opinion doesn't matter.
but that's the thing. Like,
Yeah,
what's the
but
controversy
like,
now,
you have
though?
to argue that like there's a certain number of people out there that are literally just doing it to show that they're doing it, and
Right,
they care.
yeah,
and then
yeah.
they go back to
whatever they're doing,
whatever the
like,
fuck
yeah.
they're doing in their
Yeah,
life.
it's like the people that like
Yeah.
Snap in, snap out, snap
like
in,
film
snap out.
themselves like feeding. I don't mind, like I love filming things, and I think it's great. But I think like a lot of the time, like, can you? And who am I to say whether it's genuine or not? Like,
Yeah.
a lot of time,
But, like, you can-
they're like
no, you can
filming
tell.
the little African kid and like patting his head, like, and they're like, oh, I
And
love
then the
like, they're giving
selfie,
him
look at the
some food.
selfie, like
Yeah, the selfie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Missionary trip
but
was
let's go
so
through it.
wholesome.
Yeah.
And look, I
go
tell
through
I tell you why I'm conflicted though, because the fact is that regardless of them posting it like that, and it looks fucking lame to us, the impact it had on the other side to that, like African child, for example,
Was big?
was probably the same regardless. Like the fact that that influencer or whatever got to post it was good for them. And I guess like maybe they
Yeah.
actually got some, maybe the less
Totally.
privileged people actually got something out of it. So
yeah. But
I
how do
guess
you how do you measure that though?
Oh no, I'm saying like, well, the fact is that there's a lot of stuff in this world that people do for virtue signaling to
Yeah.
show other people they do it. But the fact is that if they weren't able to virtue signal it, maybe not as many people would do it.
Give us a.
you know what I'm saying?
And for the people that don't know, like I know what virtual signaling, but like define what virtual signaling
okay, well, a
is.
virtue is like
Narcissism.
a virtue. No,
That's-
virtue. A
that's
virtue is
related
something
to-
good that you do, right? Virtue signaling is like, oh look, I'm doing
this.
something good. Like, look,
Narcissism,
check
like
this.
you're doing it all
Yeah,
for you.
but
Yeah,
it's
I know,
not
but narcissism is
necessarily
like-
I know,
narcissism.
that's an
like a
extreme
sicko,
end,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
100%. But let's have a look at some of the things that we look at virtual signaling. So at the moment, it's Palestine, Israel. What was before that? And in Australia in
Black Lives
particular,
Matter?
No, get that down the track. But before that was a yes or no vote.
Oh yeah.
Before that was
Yeah,
Russia, Ukraine.
Yeah. I know
Before
what you're
that
saying.
was COVID. Before that was Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, there's
But
so
there's
many of
some-
these things.
and
There's always something that comes up, and people just jump from
Yeah.
one to the other
And-
to one to the other.
and it's gonna
but
get
at the end of
even
the
bigger.
day, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I know what you
doesn't?
meant. There's a very small
Those
percentage.
people that jump from one to the other.
Yeah, jump from
Like,
one,
for example,
from one issue to the
one
next
issue to
issue
the
to the
other.
next issue to the next
And
issue.
then when that dies down, they go back to their life. Like they go back to whatever they're doing,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
something else arises, and they go, "Okay, I'm going to jump onto that."
Yeah.
And it's always through social media. Like whether they have conversations with their friends or not, or dialogue with their
Yeah.
friends about it or not. Like I would doubt that they do that, but they do virtual signal online because they get to show and find significance through that.
it makes them
But
feel
we don't know.
important.
Like I
Yeah.
think the good thing is like having like being able to have the discussion without like letting your emotion get in the way or like you know what I mean. Like the
Most
best
people
Bro,
can't
it's-
do that.
I
Yeah,
know
it's
it's,
hard.
actually a really
it's
good.
why it's like kind of sad because
Yeah.
you can't even have these conversations because man, you're just worried you're gonna
You step on someone's
offend
toes.
someone.
Yeah.
Like,
But
you know
then
what I mean?
again, what they say is like those people that do that, if you're not doing that, then they jump on your back for it.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, why aren't you talking about this? Where you're like, okay, well, do you really want me to talk about
Do you want me to open the can?
Yeah.
Shall I open the can of
And,
worms?
and I like
Piss
to
you
try
off?
and keep the neutral standpoint of like, even though like I wish it was true, but it's probably not. But generally, like someone that agrees with like, let's say like the yes or no vote, can you assume that statistically they would disagree with you in other things? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think people like are relative. People have a relatively consistent. A lot of the time with like their views, generally
like their
speaking.
political views. Like,
if
would you call
someone's
them right-leaning
if someone's
or
like this,
left-leaning?
then you're like,
Yeah.
okay, well they're probably left leaning, or if they're like this, they're probably right leaning.
Yeah.
it's not always accurate though.
but it's not-
And I
it's-
like people that break the. I like people that break the stigma.
But people don't like people that break the stigma because it
Yes.
makes them unpredictable.
Yeah,
It
but that's
means
where
that I can't rely on you as an ally because you're an ally with me,
me
on
and
this,
then something else.
and then you're
Yeah.
against me on that. So, like,
Yeah, but
I don't know what's your deal. Like,
yeah, but
I
that's what
need
you
to-
call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what you call it
You know what I mean?
independent.
Do you know who I like about like? I remember you used to watch YouTube videos on him. He's a gay man,
Yeah.
but he doesn't like feed into like the LGBT rhetoric. Milo Yiannopoulos.
Milo Yiannopoulos, yeah.
Oh, I never heard of him.
Yeah, he's really cool, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's actually he's cool.
I think he's. I believe he's turned straight.
I think he's Christian now.
I believe he's like
He's
trying to.
he's denied himself.
He's denied himself of being gay.
Yeah, I think I may have heard that too. Then
Yeah.
there's
Oh, I gotta
I like
look this
Ben
guy up.
Crowder, bro. Ben Crowder cracks me
I
up.
don't know
Ben
who
Crowder.
these guys
Yeah, okay,
are.
you do know his videos.
Ben
You
Crowder.
would have seen them, the memes where it's like,
changed my mind.
change my mind.
Oh, is that him?
That's him.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
did he start that thing?
So he actually sat
that's
there
it.
The table.
Yeah, yeah,
with
that's
the
him.
table.
Oh, that's
Ben
him.
Crowder,
But there's
yeah.
always memes
Yeah.
that come up with like,
And
oh,
they
change
put
my
something
mind.
over
They
the
put
top
something
of
over
it.
the-
But
but
is that
that's
his original photo?
yeah, Ben
That's him.
Crowder.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Bro, that's massive.
Yeah.
What about the guy with the sign? I know it's different. But
Which one? The guy?
the guy with sign.
No, it was fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's funny.
But then that's what I talk about with regards to when you talk about Swiss, right? That's neutral. That's independent.
Yeah.
That's somebody that's in the middle that can go from left or right.
But I
Like,
don't
they
even
don't
think
have
it's that.
allegiance
They,
to-
they choose not to either.
No, but that's what independent is. So you got conservative, Democrat, for example, if we're looking at, but independent, they can sway either way.
Yeah,
But they're not-
is true.
they're not
It's just
far
people,
or-
Go both ways?
Yeah, but
Go both ways.
people
the Swiss
persecute
are gay?
people that are independent.
Why?
But that are
Yeah,
independent.
that's right, because they don't-
Because they're like I
They
said,
don't
like
side with
they're
them.
like, oh, like because they're like, oh, you hold on, but you believe this about that. So if you believe that, then you should definitely agree with me on this. And if
Yeah.
you're not, that means you're probably scared to say something,
Yeah.
as opposed to. You're like people just don't like that level of like independence.
Yeah,
and
but it's
neutrality.
also for me with regards to this whole Swiss
I
thing.
wonder if the pollies would feel the same way.
Switzerland or whatever you're talking about. It's for me. It's like if I
Politicians, I
don't know
meant,
if
by
I
the
don't
way.
know enough about the information, then I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, you're right.
right.
Yeah,
Like,
hard.
I'm on your side.
And then people just think you're like
Kid-
staying quiet because
Yeah, well that's what I mean.
people just go, oh, like this, or why don't you say anything? You're awfully quiet, whatever. But like, as if I'm gonna go and make a fool of myself on something I
You
don't
don't
even
know,
like
but that's
truly
what I'm-
understand.
well, yeah.
Like if okay, I know this is obviously a different issue because like no one's gonna get offended by it. But if I can sit around all day until I'm blue in the fucking face and tell you why property is better than stocks. Till I'm blue in the face, I don't give a fuck. Sit me in
Like
front
your
of
shorts.
Warren Buffett.
okay.
And I'll debate with him. I will. Like, he might beat me, but
might.
I'll debate with him.
Yeah,
He might be.
Because I
just-
feel I have so much knowledge
Is he believe- is he
about
believing this?
investing.
But see, that's good, and I love that, and I would happily listen to you, and probably choose not to engage in that discussion because I know fuck all.
Yeah,
about it.
neither.
Exactly.
Yeah,
When
neither.
you hear me talk about it, you're probably like, oh, maybe I'll like
Withdraw
relax
a
on
bit.
this because
Yeah.
he seems to know a lot more than me, so I should probably inform myself before. Because that's the thing. Like, you're like, if you're like, oh, you kind of get to that point where you hear people talk about stuff and you're like, oh, okay, I'm just, even my mate Adrian, like, who understands like history and culture really, really well. He is in a position like to talk about stuff to do with culture and behavior and all that stuff. Because like he really truly understands it. He reads so much.
He loves that stuff.
He loves
Yeah.
that stuff. You know what I mean?
That's
like
sick.
he just gets it. And the funny thing is, you'd hear him talk about it, and you would never. Well, you're unlikely to feel emotionally charged because he's so well informed about it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You're unlikely to think he's ignorant because you can hear the knowledge the way he speaks about it.
Yeah, but also like with social media, like you're talking about before, like if I go and watch somebody that's talking about investment in stocks and I get into this whole, mindset of, oh, stocks are great, like I want to do stocks, like I'll argue with you.
Yeah, especially
That's
if
the
you
whole
go-
thing now. Even though I don't know myself, but I've
Yeah.
heard it from somebody else, and I've got into this whole confirmation bias. Like I really like this person. I like their personality. I love what they say. I love how they present their argument. Oh well, I know enough now. I'm going to go and talk to JP about it.
Yeah,
but in reality, I still don't know fuck all.
But that's the thing with social media, right?
And
It's like the art of
dangerous.
bullshit.
That's a dangerous thing.
It's like the art of bullshit. There's so many internet gurus on so many different topics, on fitness, on
Because
training.
You know
on-
why? A lot of these people are like now. They've watched it, bro. I get it now because I'm obviously, I'm into the property stuff and doing the buyer's agency stuff. Like, what's funny is I get all the ads now, and the number of people that have watched the master classes and that are now starting their own.
Yeah.
I help a 7-figure. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, like, I'm not trying to be cynical of you, but I highly doubt that you've done that.
Yeah, like, show me your portfolio.
Like, show me your
Yeah, but it's the
credentials,
same thing with personal training as well. Like, you've become a successful, quote unquote, successful personal trainer online, and then now you're teaching personal trainers how to become successful.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many out there. So many. And I get very jarred by that. I'm like I don't even, like, that's why I don't do a lot of videos on social,
Well, bro,
on health and fitness, because I'm like, bro, like,
about 5-10 years ago, there was no PT influencers as such.
Bro.
when I was a
I would have
PT
laughed if you told me that you have EBT, who's probably making
Who's EBT?
5 million, 10 million, 50, who knows however much money.
EBT, Cunnies?
The guy Cunnies is like, all right, cunts.
All right, cunts.
That guy.
All
that
right,
guy's
you
like
fat
a
fucks.
multi.
That guy?
Yeah.
The bald guy?
No. That's Physique Factory.
Yeah,
But
I
he's
like
a multi as well.
Yeah.
Bro, Physique Factory is the king, bro.
He is a multi. I don't know how much money that bloke makes, but he's killing it.
Yeah.
If you had told me there was going to be these fitness influencers making like tens of millions of dollars, I would have laughed at you.
Bro, you know what? It's amazing. You know what? Hats off to them, bro. If they can, bro, if that's the hustle and they're giving out genuine information.
Yeah.
Do you know what a tool I thought of in relation to that? I'm going to patent it though. So if you're listening,
Well, you're going to...
too late. I was thinking about, because I'm thinking about my own journey with this like investment buyers agency and stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, like, there's probably a lot of people there that go like, oh, like, what's he done? Like, show me his track record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's probably a lot of these online info. Like, how do you filter through who knows what the fuck they're doing?
Yeah.
What if you created some tool that was called like trackrecord.io?
Yeah, but that's...
you could showcase.
.io.
But that's a hard thing. People don't ask for credentials.
Yeah,
They
but
ask for follows. They look at blue ticks. That's what they look at now. That's what social media is about.
I know, but
I know what you're saying.
But there's going to be a lot of people who are thinking about it, but they're never going to go, "Oh, hey, Mr.
Yeah.
Online PT, show me what you did with your old clients," because it's kind of like an awkward thing. Whereas if
Yeah.
it was there on display, like if I could in some way like anonymize my data and show my portfolio and what
Yeah.
I've done from an investing standpoint, and people were able to view that on their own accord. They can go, oh, fuck, this guy actually has done all right for himself in the 6-7 years.
Yeah, he's not just chatting shit.
He's not just chatting
Yeah,
shit.
but all you have to do is in your little bio is write, say, for example, I've helped hundreds of thousands of people
Yeah,
lose weight.
but-
that's something that's
But
going to trigger
me-
someone to
but
want to
to
buy.
me,
But
that
it's
looks
also
like
the value as
bullshit.
well.
To
A lot
me,
of the time-
I don't believe that crap when I see it, unless like they're really big.
But guess what? Look what you're gonna look at next for your point of reference. You're gonna look at their bio and you're like, nah, that's bullshit. Then you look at their followers. If they got 21.5k, you're like,
And
actually,
I
you know
look at
what?
their reels, they get like 20,
Yeah.
30k views in
Yeah,
their
like,
reels.
oh,
I'm
hey,
like,
she's
all right.
probably
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah.
See how
So it's
much
those
it is.
metrics
But
that they
that's why
look
it's
at.
like, mate, bro, have we just come up with a hectic idea?
What? Like
Trackrecord.io.
But how would that work?
Bro, I
Explain
don't know.
that.
There's got to be some sort of tool where you can go in,
it'll be a
like
link.
whatever your industry could be,
Yeah.
and you literally go and like put in, but then how would you even verify that it's real?
Exactly.
Yeah,
good
that's right.
point.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
that
I mean,
idea.
there's certain
though.
industries where it could be verified. Like if I could verify the fact that if this company could verify the fact that I own those properties because my name is fucking on them, or even if I own them in a trust.
I don't
You get what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I don't even know if there's a way to do that specifically, but I like the train of thought that you're on. Like, is there a way to unbullshit social media in some way?
Bro, it's gone out of control now. Like, how do you even know how to make a well-informed decision? It has to be word of mouth.
Yeah,
or
but,
like someone that's
but that's the
massive.
thing. Like, how many people actually put their credentials in their bios or in their links? Like, no one.
No, they all. Oh, actual credentials? No,
No, like actual credentials.
Get that fucking
And again, how can you like credibility? Like, you see these girls that are like online personal trainers and like fitness instructors, and then their credibility goes down when they got a link in bio for their.
Bro, someone posted something. I think it was Keegan, Chelsea's other half.
yeah,
He posted
the
that thing.
breastfeeding.
Yeah, but I looked at it and I went inside to the page. The chick's
course
got an
he did.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
She's not. It wasn't actually.
What do you
her.
mean? Explain.
So Chelsea's other half,
Yep.
he posted this video of because this whole breastfeeding thing. There's a lot of like
Breastfeeding?
breasts on Instagram now, and
Oh.
ladies breastfeeding like on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
There's this video of this lady literally pulling out
Yeah.
her boob.
Yep.
As in the entire
It's a fake
thing.
baby.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
It's a fake
It's a fake
baby.
baby,
and
obviously.
it says on the page like, breastfeeding content, motherhood content.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm like, anyway, so I'm really sus. You go click, and there's an
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans link.
Yeah.
Is the OnlyFans videos her breastfeeding?
No, she's a full-blown OnlyFans model, but she's using that to get
As-
like the views
Ah,
or whatever.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But see, that's actually a genius sales funnel.
Hey, tip your hat.
It's a sales funnel.
Tip your hat.
It's like mothers, and then like obviously the dudes are gonna click that because
Yeah. Like
because
JC.
you're just like that's
No, I was
No, I'm
just
joking.
sus, bro.
That is
Yeah,
sus.
you're investigating. Yeah, of course.
So what? Now she's less of a mother?
Fuck off.
Well, now she's less of a woman and a mother because she does OnlyFans? Of course she is.
You dick.
Here we go.
There
No,
we
I'm
go.
joking.
Controversy corner. Let's
Controversy,
go.
nah.
Let's go.
Now, look, you know, I like the controversial debates. Like,
What'd I
even
do?
I think you may have been having a chat the other day with a couple of our friends from the gym. You guys were disagreeing on something at the front of the coffee shop a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
What was
And
that about?
I was just observing. I just chose not to engage in that discussion.
Bro, look how much nicer it looks.
Yeah, it is.
Chose not to engage in that discussion because I was just like, you know what, like I'd just like to observe, because sometimes just listening, because I was really listening to, I think it was Chloe and Maddie, and I was loving listening to what their points, because they had made some valid points, but then you made some valid points as well. But you know, like I guess I think one of the really admirable, you know, I think traits of someone is when someone can actually listen. Like I think I love Cadence Owen or Candace Owen. What's her name?
Candace Owen, yeah.
Bro, she roasts a lot of those
She's
those
gun.
uni kids. Bro,
She's
she's a
gun.
gun. She's a gun.
She's gone.
Yeah.
And she's a bit of a savage now. She's
Yeah.
like pregnant and
She's
shit. She
ruthless.
just like
She
doesn't give
roasted
a
Taylor Swift, which I didn't really like that one. I was
What's
like,
wrong with Taylor Swift? What's the go with Taylor
I was
Swift?
like,
I
that
didn't
was
see
a bit
that.
of
Because a couple of the girls from our gym told us
They said,
don't
like,
shit on.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
I have
I'm
no-
listening.
listen,
We're working
listen,
this shit.
listen.
I have no issue.
I have no issue with
I
Taylor
didn't
Swift.
realize that like that she had any like there was this matriarchy thing. I don't know. That's what they were saying.
The
like,
patriarchy.
What do you
no,
mean?
no. That she's all about the matriarchy.
What's the matriarchy?
Which is like the woman leaders. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Well, she's a billionaire.
against the
She's a
patriarchy.
billionaire, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, but you know,
But bro, at that point,
I only-
at that point, it's everything, anything, and everything. You can't tell me otherwise. It's about money.
No.
Like,
What?
she's a fucking multi. Like,
She's a billionaire. She's
Yeah.
like, by the end of her
Multi-bees.
doing her tours, I think she's going to be a billionaire.
I don't think
She
it's
already is one of
specifically
them.
that
Yeah,
we
or
have
she's
anything
one.
against Taylor Swift. I think it's more just for me
I fucking love her music.
erring
Yeah,
on
I
the
like her
side
music.
of like,
Yeah.
I just don't like celebrity worship, period. Where people
Yeah, yeah.
idolize
Oh,
celebrities,
yeah, yeah,
period.
yeah, yeah. I
Where
agree.
it's like, oh my
I
god,
100%
You know what I
agree
mean?
with that.
And like someone compared her to Michael Jackson of like the 21st century. I was like, shut up.
Yeah, but,
Okay.
then,
Yeah, but I don't
what's the
think in
difference
terms
between
of-
the Michael Jackson
no, no.
worship then?
I'm not saying there's a difference in terms of worship. I'm saying, but like, don't compare Michael Jackson's like glory to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? In 10, 20 years, she's going to be
She's gonna
old.
be-
She's going to be like him, I guess, in a
Yeah.
way. Like, she's going to be like the old school and her music's going to sound older, probably.
I know,
Yeah.
but Taylor Swift goes out there and sings a song and people lose it. Bro, Michael Jackson just jumped on stage, do a little shamona, and people would start fucking fainting.
Shimon.
Yeah,
Literally.
But I don't think they're.
Jamona.
Yeah, but you can't really compare them in terms of their artistry. Like, she's a great songwriter, obviously, but she's not.
I don't think she
she's-
writes her songs. None of the celebrities
Both-
do.
Bro,
both-
Taylor
both-
Swift writes the songs.
No. I
Both
don't know.
white. Both
Yeah.
white.
What do you mean?
Both white. Both white.
Like,
How much more hectic would Michael Jackson have been if he stayed black?
he would have.
I'm not trying to be a gronk. I'm saying,
no,
like, I just
I
stay
don't
true.
know.
You know what would have been cool if
It would've
like
been the same.
the
It would've been the
Jackson
same.
5, like
No, it
the
wouldn't have been the
two
same.
guys on the outside
Yeah.
stayed black and then he stayed white would have been like the Oreo 5.
Double Oreo.
Double Oreo.
double
Like,
Oreo,
would've been
yeah.
two layers.
Double biscuit.
2 layers, then the white inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, no drama with Taylor Swift. Like, bro, she just sold out 4 shows back to back.
Bro,
Okay,
what
here's
about-
the thing. Okay,
Bro,
Fred-
what about Fred again?
Fred again, bro.
Cuz, what is the deal with this Fred again bloke?
Just before you go on to
Who's
Fred
that?
again, Fred again's a DJ here, and he released like he's got that mad song. He's got heaps of mad songs.
Yeah.
But he released a quick like pop up tour at Opera House. Sold out one show. Now he's going at Curtis Bank Arena.
bro, I was online for 3 hours. I don't
trying
even
to
like.
get
I don't
tickets,
even like. The
but you
bloke.
just jumped on the hype.
Well, because I jumped on some of the other boys in the group chat, and my sister were like, "Can you get tickets?"
Fred
Oh,
again,
try.
yeah, I know. See, that's the thing, bro. When it becomes trendy, it becomes trendy. The only thing I don't like about Taylor Swift specifically, or with that type of music, is that a lot of her songs just talk. They romanticize
Yeah.
the idea of having a fling and just like a summer partner, and it was just like beautiful. And they romanticize this idea about having like a quick casual hookup. And they romanticize this idea of like a beautiful pain that's like heartbreaking. In a lot of her
Oh,
music,
it's like Ariana Grande. Thank you. Next, whatever. Like the same shit.
but I don't
Yeah.
know like why this rhetoric, because a lot of these young girls, they like sing these songs and they don't even realize what they're singing, and they're essentially placing curses on themselves.
Indoctrinating themselves.
Well, no, they're not.
Yeah, but it's like same as when you're listening to rap as well.
of
Yeah,
course,
that's
and
right.
I-
Same
That's
thing. Like,
true.
it's, you know,
It
people
is.
rap what they
If I
rap
call
about.
you a
But that's
Like,
what-
I'm not gonna go call females bitches and hoes, but I sing
what do
the
you
song.
mean? Yeah.
Like, I'm never gonna go call
Yeah, I
females
get ya.
this, but
I get ya.
you know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's got a but I guess if you're and I listened to it when I was a kid, when you're growing up and obviously you're going through all your
But even I would say the
learnings
same on the
and-
other side when the guys are talking about just going out and like
rooting.
rooting
Yeah, like
100
it's,
girls.
Yeah, but that's
Like
again,
it's especially with the young generation that idolize and love Taylor Swift.
Bro,
I
they
think it's-
love her.
They love
They
her.
love her. Like,
holes.
wow, it's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Sorry,
They are demonic with
just
devil
for
worshippers.
show.
Anyway, what else is controversial?
Well, what's your what concert was your first concert? Not
Ooh,
a
great question.
not a what is it?
I think mine
what's
was
your first
Tiger
concert?
or Jeremiah.
You're so woke.
I swear.
You're such
Tiger
a
or
woke.
Jeremiah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah's
that's
the king, bro.
hilarious. Yeah,
He was the king back then.
I know, but
Don't
it's
tell
got
him,
those
tell him.
real seduction songs.
Yeah, he
and
got all
shit.
those seductive, like that. Yeah.
Talk
about Taylor Swift.
It was at the Enmore Theatre. I remember the Enmore Theatre. I was like,
Enmore,
Rack
what
City.
a venue.
Rack.
Oh, yuck, bro.
Rack City,
Tiger.
yeah.
It was, bro, I was like 14. It was actually.
Tiger would have been
it was,
so
It was actually
chat.
no. It was
Bro,
actually.
that
fun.
was,
Yeah, it was
they were
sick.
popping back then, big time.
Bro,
Yeah,
What was
true.
yours?
Nas at the Enmore Theatre. That
Oh,
was
of course.
Nas would have been
That
dope.
was off its
bro.
head.
I would love to
It
go
was
see
either Nas or Lupe Fiasco. Both were unbelievable.
But see, like Nas is cool because like I don't listen to heaps of Nas songs, but I know there would have been so many old OG heads.
bro,
Yeah.
there was so many old OG heads, and it was just like, bro, it's such an intimate venue for such a
bro. Enmore is the
crafty
dopest
rapper.
venue, bro,
Yeah.
because it's small. There's only
It's
fit
better
like
than Metro
3,000
as well.
Bro, it's so
Yeah,
much
yeah,
cooler.
it's hectic.
It's 3,000 people in there, and everyone's just bobbing
Bro,
their
there's
heads.
a core stadium, bullshit, bro. Come on,
Bro, I went to see Joey Badass. That was off its head.
Oh, how was that?
Joey Badass
bro,
was
is he
dope.
still around?
Bro, I don't
I
know
feel
what
like he's
happened,
got like the underground
I love
supporter
that
base.
I love the underground type.
like Immortal
rap.
Technique and shit like that. You
Yeah,
know?
speaking of venues, would you go to a concert like that where you're sitting?
I have been to one.
Yeah,
It's shit.
Like you're on the side.
Vinny?
Up the, huh?
Who's Vinny?
No, if
No,
you're at a
venue.
venue.
Oh,
Like say a core stadium where you're up the back, like you're on the side. You
I
can't
have.
even
You
see
get,
almost
you
at the
get
back.
over it. You get over it. It's
Yeah, I
shit, bro.
guess
You're
so.
so far away.
I can't read.
Post Malone, bro. That bloke was literally bro, on some serious drugs when I saw him.
Oh yeah,
Like hardcore.
I don't
Yeah,
think
bro.
he does them anymore. I think he sort of come off them.
Nah,
That's what he
maybe.
said.
Oh, yeah,
when he
That's
sings
what he
those
said.
songs, oh,
Bro, I'm pretty sure he's drinking cough syrup when
What,
he's
did he
when
sound
he's drinking. No, bro, sometimes no. He was like yelling.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck, I don't, bro.
yeah,
what
his
is
face
this?
looks cooked.
No, bro, I'm telling you, a lot of gear, whatever it is, gear,
Bro,
cough syrup. I don't know
All
what
those
he's
Hollywood
on.
artists, bro, they go in, they sell their soul, they do their music, they make the money, and then the time's over.
Maybe
bro.
is it
That's what
because
happens, bro.
is it because like they go out there, they're on such a high, and it's so like I guess I don't know. Bro, so who was it? Like even Volkanovski talked about how like bro not being in camp it was like really depressing like because like you've got no purpose like maybe you get on a high from a fight like Tyson Fury's talked about it, you know what I mean, like
bro, yeah.
Like,
you're
when
on
you
a
come away from that,
you come
yeah.
away from that and all of a sudden you've got all this money but like you're just back on your couch with your like family and it's like
Yeah, but
back
that's
to
why-
like normal life like you need to be in
Yeah.
the spotlight. This spotlight addictive.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
why you get Olympians that get depression after they finish because you look at like swimmers, for example, they've been doing squad since they were fucking like, I don't know, 6,
Yeah.
7, 8. And if they do become an Olympian or they obviously move towards it, that's all they've been doing. Swimming. So when they retire,
Yeah, it's heartbreaking,
like,
bro.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
what do I do? Like, what's my purpose now?
Bro, a lot of footy players too. That's why they're telling you to
Footy
build their own
players.
brand, build your own brand. Like I like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
Yeah.
Ice is doing and talking
Bro,
about.
it's so important because a lot of like, especially if your identity is so attached to your what was your job.
Yeah.
And
Even
then you
yeah,
come
bro,
out
that's
of that.
it's a terrible trait,
It's
bro. I
sad.
was actually chatting to my
Yeah, but
boss
bro,
about this the other day.
It's one of those things you don't know while you're doing it because you feel so good. But then when you're out of it, is only when you realize, holy shit, like my self-esteem, my pride, everything
Was
I had
tied to my
was
career.
tied to that.
Yeah, but that's more specifically for those things. Like, for example, you probably can do real estate for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but,
I could do
but career-wise, like when I was on
career-wise as
LinkedIn
well,
and
yeah.
all that sort of stuff, and like my ability to like sell.
Where'd
and
you
do
work?
that-
Yeah. But I get that. But in terms of footy player or somebody that's in the Olympics, right? They've got a time clock on how their body can continue to be at that high
Yeah, but
performance.
True,
True,
Sean,
Sean,
like
but a
the
lot of people,
ability
even
to-
when they retire when they're 60, they hate their life after. They're
Like
like,
Darren-
Yeah,
No,
but
like
we
Darren,
look at
look at
NRL, like they retired 27,
Yeah, but look at like
28.
Darren Lockyer. He went
Like-
out and does the commentary and like people that do stuff extracurricular
Oh,
outside
100%,
of the footy,
but there's
you know?
only so many commentators that can do that.
Yeah, and there's
Like,
only so many that are going to be savvy enough to.
Yeah, and there's so many that are going to be able to make $1 million contracts over 10 years. So then they can be set up and do real estate or whatever it may be.
What
Like
about-
the other ones, like
There's one who's a buyer's agent, a former NRL player.
no way.
Who?
Slick. He's an NRL player, like was a popular one. Oh, I forgot his name.
I like Josh Mansell's a builder. You know,
he's got his podcast now. What
yeah,
is
with
it?
with
Let's
Adam
Trot?
Carr. Let's trot.
Yeah.
You know who I like lately, bro? Sean Strickland.
Sean
of
Strickland,
course.
of course
He's
you
cool,
do.
bro.
Yeah.
Why would I not like him?
Did you see him
Yeah, yeah.
smash
Why
Nico?
were you saying? Of course I do. I don't get it. I only recently found out about it.
Yeah, I know that, but that's what I mean. Because he started
he's
to
a
go
red-blooded
viral.
man.
He started to go viral about how right he is.
Yeah, how
So
right.
what do you mean?
like
Far
as
right.
in conservative right
far
wing.
right.
Oh, okay.
I know which video triggered it. I could
Yeah.
literally
I'm watching
bet,
it. I
could
can't
bet my
remember.
left nut on it.
Tell me which one
It
it
was the
was.
one where he goes, "There's people like you that are fucking disgusting." Well, 10 years ago,
Yeah,
being
yeah,
trans
yeah.
would have been
Yeah.
considered an illness.
I kind of forgot about that, but yeah, I think
That probably was the trigger.
No, but it's like there were some other things as well. I like when he was actually crying on one of the podcasts when he was talking about
Yeah, he's talking about his past.
He's got demons, bro.
real
Yeah.
demons.
That was on
guy.
Theo Von. Theo Von
That guy
podcast.
needs Jesus.
Theo
Von,
Von, bro,
of course.
is cool, man.
Theo Von's a sick guy. I love that guy.
Bro,
What did he say something about my cousin?
Bro, you know what's funny
Like,
about
he's got Down syndrome. He ain't got Down syndrome. He's just Irish. And they start laughing and he goes, nobody's that Irish.
You know what's funny about Theo Von though? Like when he does his one-on-one commentary, he's really good. But if he's in like a group, he's very quiet. Like if he's like on a podcast of 4, maybe 5 people, he's very quiet. Like he's very different to when he's like one-on-one.
Yeah,
We'll get him
Very
on.
different.
We've got a big enough audience base now. Like,
But that's the thing, bro. He just, I don't know, he just says whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
And it just comes out really good. Like really, really good, even though it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I think you know what it is, bro. It's all in like your tonality. You know, I think some people just got away with words. Not even just away with words, but the way that they.
I mean, but he's a comedian. though.
Yeah, but see what defines it? Like he does stand up comedy. Comedy.
You should say what defines a comedian.
Yeah, no, I'm saying because was he a comedian before he started doing a
I don't
podcast?
know. I'm assuming.
You get what I
No,
mean?
he was on a reality TV show beforehand.
Ever since I can remember, he was a funny guy. I don't know if he was a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even laugh, right? How good's Dave Chappelle?
Oh
Yeah, Dave
You gotta
Chappelle's
love
Dave
he's
Chappelle, bro.
unbelievable.
They reckon he's
And he
cloned.
give-
Do you know, have you heard of
They
Mark
reckon
Norman?
it's not the original Dave Chappelle. They killed him and cloned him.
What do you mean? But he still says fucking controversial shit.
Yeah, I know, but like,
So why would-
they reckon it's not the same?
Who
thing.
reckons
He walked away from like $50 million from Hollywood. Do you know that? Like, when he
Yeah.
first, like, he
Yeah,
first
but then
blew up?
if he was a clone, then he would have accepted that. If he
yeah, I
was,
get
if
ya.
he was part of the, if he was a pawn,
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? That's-
Do you know
it's
what
incongruent.
creepypasta? Creepypasta is like internet. Have you ever heard of what creepypasta is?
No.
Creepypasta is like a word for like internet stories that like.
what conspiracy theories? and
Yeah,
shit?
sort of like. Hang on, just let me.
Have you guys heard of 4chan?
No.
That's where like memes started. Did you know that?
4chan, no. Didn't know
Yeah.
that. No?
Creepypasta.
What is creepypasta?
Creepypasta
Oh,
is a
horror-related.
horror-related legend which has been shared around the internet. They're almost like folklore that like originated from the internet.
Don't talk to me about
Oh, so
lore.
it's
I
like
love lore.
fucking, what is it called? Conspiracy
LORE.
theories almost, and like that type of stuff.
Huh? Yeah.
Conspiracy.
What do you say? What's
theories.
folklore?
lore.
What's lore?
LORE.
What's that?
Like folklore. It's like
No,
stories.
Yeah,
Oh, so there's other
stories,
lore?
culture,
Like-
like it's like.
So there's other lore instead of
Oh, bro,
folklore.
there's a
LORE,
lot of
yeah.
like even there's
Lore.
like subculture. There's
But
like
what's like another lore?
quit farting. Like awaken.
No. I'm asking. So if it's called folklore,
Like you must be knackered.
no. Listen when I'm
Yes,
asking.
sorry. Okay.
So see how there's folklore?
Yeah.
Is there another thing that's like not
No.
folklore?
Lore is like just an extension, like an abbreviation.
Yeah.
of
Folklore is just means stories.
Yeah, lore, stories, history,
History,
culture
yeah.
combined. Like okay, put it
Like
this way.
Snow White and-
normies would never understand lore, like LORE. Like they lack enough depth. They're very shallow.
See, this is a new word to me too. What is a normie?
Oh, bro, we've been through this.
No, we haven't.
A normie is basically someone who has like mainstream views, very mainstream,
They're straighty
very,
180.
very predictable.
Yeah, very straighty
They don't
180.
want to go against the
Narrative.
narrative.
They're Swiss.
You know what I mean? Look, you could argue that an easy way to identify a normie is like, are they vanilla? Like, are they just
So like,
with all due respect, I'm not trying to like pump myself up, but you could never look at someone like me and say I'm a normie because I'm too eccentric.
You're ADHD.
Too
That's
much of a
right. You're
weird
too
cunt. Do you know
ADHD.
what I'm saying? I'm too much of a weirdo.
Yeah, okay. So like Steve Smith, who lives in Boston, who gets his 401k. and like,
right, picket
Yeah.
fence.
Gets
white
his
picket
newspaper.
Yeah,
reads
like
it.
you know, the
Yeah.
guy on
401k,
Instagram,
I know, I just hear
the
this
guy
a
on
lot.
Instagram who's become a very big normie is that guy you said.
Yes.
Who like, I'm going to go in and create shareholder value. I'm going for a 20k run today. Like he's normie.
Yeah, what's his name?
Oh, is it that tall
he's-
guy with
he-
the teeth?
Yeah, he did.
the tall guy with the teeth.
Bro, he's crushing it on Instagram.
He's crushing it.
Bro,
I
he's
love
doing
that.
well.
Oh, I fully have to go.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
that's cool.
Come
Yeah,
on,
what
we're
else
gonna
is like?
sack the
Quick,
podcast.
okay, really quick controversial things. Like, I just want to rattle some off.
For next episode.
No. I want to finish it on that.
Why? What is-
Just because Sean wanted to open up a controversial episode, so we're just gonna quickly just like.
Well, we're finished now.
Yeah,
so
we're
it's
finished,
like-
mate. We're going to open up another can of worms. We can save it for next time.
Nah, it's just a yes or no. Okay.
No, I'm not doing it.
Abortion, yes
All
or
right,
no.
Switzerland.
Abortion, yes or no.
Oh, exceptions, but no.
Except no, it's either yes or no. What's the exception? Obviously, rape is different.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm
Okay.
talking about shit
Yes,
like that.
yes.
Are you asking me which way I'm leaning? I lean towards no.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Yes for abortion. I like that. See, I like that he's saying yes, and I'm like that we're saying no. See,
Okay,
this is
can we
great.
stop?
See,
Can
that's
we
the hard
stop
one
now?
because no context.
Yeah, exactly. There's no
yeah,
context.
which is
It's
cool. I
bullshit.
like this because it's leaving the people that are watching this super triggered, and they're like, "No, why did he say no?" That's for me to know and you to find out on the next episode. That's episode
All right,
37.
Just finish on that
Oh,
note.
we're almost to 40. Or are we getting to 40?
Oh, no. Well, bro, actually, while we're doing it, it's fun.
See, this was good.
I loved it.
Yeah, we almost quit. Just
Yeah, no, just-
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see you next time.
Yalla, bye.
Controversy corner, the dropouts.
same sex marriage. No,
All right. See you later.
Yalla,
see you
bye.
guys.
Bye.
Yalla.